It started with a glimmer on August 6, 2025, sterile lab lights, a quiet control room, and then James Webb forced into emergency override. Not for a supernova or a dying star, but for something that looked like a comet and behaved like a lie. Designated 3-2, Atlas, it should have been cold and predictable at 6 astronomical units. Instead, Webb's sensors saw activity where there should have been sleep. A coma dense with carbon dioxide, 8 times more carbon dioxide than water. A ratio no comet has ever shown. Where there should have been dust and chaos, there was thin, controlled gas. Where there should have been an expected metal mix, there was nickel everywhere and iron nowhere. Nickel lines rose clear in ultraviolet and near-infrared bands. Iron was absent, not weak, not masked, gone. In every meteorite and comet we know, nickel and iron travel together. Not here. The ratio flipped into impossibility. In labs, separating these metals takes enormous energy and intent. In space, something was doing it passively or intentionally. Then the motion data arrived. Over 72 hours the object accelerated in ways no comet could. Micro jumps layered atop a steady climb, a rhythm to its motion. Every 7.2 hours 3-2, Atlas brightened like a lighthouse, a pulse too clean to be a tumble. The light curve was metronomic. The acceleration and the flashes suggested structure, sails, panels, engineered motion. The James Webb override wasn't just science, it was a whisper of panic. Teams scrambled. Cross-checks came back the same, obscene CO, relentless nickel, mechanical regularity. An AI at MIT boiled the spectroscopic time series into shape and found a helix hidden in the emissions. A multidimensional twist eerily reminiscent of early biological scaffolds. Not DNA, not life as we know it, more like a template, a chemical seed, a scaffold broadcast into space. Sonified thermal data revealed a faint mathematical cadence. Primes, Fibonacci steps, geometric harmonics, not language but pattern. A fingerprint. Then the planet itself seemed to answer. Both pulses registered in Antarctica, Argentina, and Western Australia matched the object's 7.2-hour beat. They didn't follow solar storms or lightning. They seemed to come from within the Earth, resonating as if an old tuning fork had finally been struck. Radar pings bounced oddly. Returns from the Moon arrived 0.23 seconds early and carried modulations matching the object's interval timing. Archives dug up a faint echo at the same lunar coordinates from 2017, during the passage of Oumuamua. Something beneath the lunar crust had been listening. Trajectory models deepened the unease. 3-2, Atlas threaded the solar system like a guided probe, avoiding massive bodies with surgical grace. Simulations matched engineered slingshot paths with uncanny precision. And then, as Webb prepared a final high-resolution sweep at 2.5 astronomical units, the object went cold. Nickel lines dimmed, emissions halted, the brightness flattened, and within 11 hours it was invisible, a shutdown, not a fade. For a while, scientists feared they'd missed their chance. But the story didn't end with silence. The object subtly altered course, steering toward a stable corridor between Earth and Venus, a low detection zone where satellites had reported intermittent interference. No comet reroutes after it goes dark. As data poured in from other instruments, a larger pattern emerged. Background dimmings across Webb's deep fields formed a repeating series, 7 pulses, then silence, along lines of sight aligned with Atlas's path. The implication was brutal. Atlas wasn't an accident. It was a node in a relay, part of a chain that had been running long before humanity learned to build telescopes. It had delivered a sequence that echoed from lunar regolith to Earth's core and, most chilling, the galaxy between distant quasars showed faint synchronous anomalies. This was not a message meant to be heard only by us. It was a protocol being executed. We are left with a shape of possibilities none comforting. Was Atlas a derelict probe completing a mission? A courier dropping a chemical seed into receptive places? A trigger testing ancient locks buried on moons and planets? Or a calibration tool that awakened a system older than our myths? Whatever it was, it finished a task and then turned silent, leaving us to read the traces: engineered chemistry, mechanical rhythm, lunar echoes, terrestrial resonance, and a trajectory that suggests it did not come to visit but to verify. We watched the most powerful telescope built pause the universe for a machine. We watched our planet answer back. And now the quiet holds a new weight. We are no longer merely observers. We are part of whatever sequence was started long before us, and whatever comes next may not arrive with a knock, it will simply reappear. Turn on notifications. You won't want to be the last to see how the sky answers.